We're live.
Time is now 6:06, Wednesday, September 28th, p.m. This will be a special commission meeting for the town of Pembroke Park. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance using the flag here in the front of the room. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under
God,
God,
indivisible.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Here.
Vice Mayor DeVille,
Here.
Mayor Jacobs.
Here.
We have quorum.
Additions, deletions, or withdrawals to the agenda?
None.
None.
I have items to discuss.
Okay.
We'd like to change from the workshop, 15.12 from the workshop. We'd like to go ahead and place that in this regular agenda. $15.12 is town hall hardening.
I got it.
Okay. And we need to also add to the agenda a discussion on meetings.
Right, let's do a 15, 1, 2, let's add that as an 11.6. Do 11.7 discussion. Is there anything else from you two?
No.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to accept the agenda with the added items.
A second?
Any discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Public comments related to the agenda items, good and welfare. Did anyone sign up for public comment?
Yes, they did.
Mr. Roach,
Yes, it is.
welcome.
David Roach, Dale Village Mobile Home Park. I was really upset after last meeting 2 weeks ago when you were offered a wonderful option for the police department by the attorney to keep BSO until February. That way your chief would have plenty of time to get everything together and we would not have the problem of safety as far as the town residents are concerned. Now, I give the chief a great amount of credit for getting everything done in 2 weeks amount of time, which is unbelievable that he did it. But I just think it was a bad idea for you guys to even consider it when we could have waited until then, because that was the original plan. And that's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Is there any other comment from the public? All right, we'll move on. Item number 10, old business. 10.1, Public Works Auxiliary Storage Unit for the police station build-out. Mayor Jacobs, that would be me. Mr. Clark, can I have you come up here? Okay, in a previous meeting, the commission approved a contract with the storage facility for $2,000 a month for a storage unit. When that contract came forward, it was listed as a $0 a month contract, a $0 lease. There was a $0 lease negotiated for that storage unit. Can you explain?
Yes, sir. Once the contract was agreed upon, the facility owner offered us a zero-cost lease to the town. I presented it to the leadership, and it was accepted, signed upon, and executed.
All right, so were there any agreements made or offers given to the building owner?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Does he give away any other units to anybody else?
I'm not aware of any.
All right. So I brought this back up on the agenda because I want to discuss it with you guys for another vote. We had an agreement for a $2,000 a month lease, which is $24,000 a year, a lease for a storage unit. It came back and a deal was made where this is a $0 a month agreement. I sent some emails back and forth. I'm going to ask the town attorney. You said this was legal or illegal? It's legal. So I look at it this way. When I was an officer, I never took anything for free. That looks like there's bribes in the process. As an elected official here, I don't even let anybody give me a free cup of coffee because I don't want the perception to be that someone around here might be on the take. A free cup of coffee could lead to a free lunch, could lead to anything else down the road. Well, I understand this owner gave us a contract at a $0 a month lease, and I doubt he's giving that to anybody else because that's not how you stay in business, by giving away free rent. So I personally believe that doesn't pass the headline test and doesn't look good for the town taking anything for free. So I'm bringing it back to the commission for a vote. If you guys want to approve a $0 a month lease or go back to the original lease as it was agreed upon.
Melissa, does the agreement have any kind of stipulation in it saying that they expect something in return?
No, we double checked, just to make sure they meant $0. And they affirmed that. They have agreed to other conditions that before I understood that they wanted to pay us $0, I went through the lease and made sure that it was, that we were protected
Right.
in terms of insurance and liability, and we are. And I understand the mayor's concern about looking bad, but we do accept donations in other contexts. For instance, for the garden over there, you know, and so it's really, I think, a matter of policy up for the commission.
I understand that part because I know our police department gets donations from different other police departments and stuff like that, and so I get that context. So, thank you.
Did the owner state the reason for the donation?
He said he wanted to support the town and our operations. I think sometimes owners like to have the tenants see that there are government entities there. Makes the tenants sometimes feel safer. They also see that they're renting a bay to the government, and you know, so it's not necessarily a loss for the owner because I think it might increase the visibility of the property, if you understand what I'm talking about. So I don't know why they offered it to us for free. Their statement was that they wanted to support us as a town.
We could suggest that we just give them $1 or whatever. And,
We could.
to make it.
I spoke with Rob about it, and I said, if the commission wants, we'll go back and tell them that we want to pay them $2,000. It's up excuse me, it's up to the commission. We could have them pay us $1. It's a policy decision that y'all should make.
We would be writing that off anyway, right? Tax-wise, as a rental, as a storage facility, if we did
I do
pay
not
it.
know the answer to that. You'd have to ask the finance director.
Roy, what do you think? Excuse me.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Can you introduce yourself, please? We know you, but
Finance Director Roy Brown. I don't have an answer for that, but considering that it's at zero cost, I doubt if there will be any sort of,
No, I meant if we paid the 2,000,
no, it's just a regular operating expense.
an operating expense, which
sir.
we, yeah, okay.
all right, here's what I have to say. When it comes to donations, people are donating fertilizer, seeds, whatnot, to the community garden. When it came to the police department, we had a great deal of help from several different departments with equipment to help us get started, because it's not easy starting a police department. This, I think, is unacceptable for the town to accept something free, not knowing if there's anything in return that they expect down the road. So I believe we should have a lease at a fair market value, not at $1, but at a fair market value for the storage unit. If it's $2,000 a month, it's $2,000 a month. I'm cheap. I don't like spending money, but at the same time, I'm not going to put this town into a predicament where something down the road could look bad. And
Sir.
again, won't take a free cup of coffee. And this, in my eyes, does not pass the headline test.
Sir, I went back to the owner of the facility. The $2,000 is the discounted rate, and $4,000 is market rate. Just want to make you aware.
Okay. Well, I will entertain a motion from either one of you on how you want to proceed.
I think we should stick with I mean, they offered it to us, we didn't ask them. And they're not giving it to an individual commissioner, they're giving it to the town. I think it's a saving for the town.
I agree with that, and I think if it's past the legal muster and the smell test, and I would let it go at that. If we get any kind of conflict that comes up in the interim, and they start saying they want something for nothing, we should be the first to know, and
So
that way
I ask for a motion.
maybe we could have have some sort of clause.
Have discussion
in that
after there's a motion
contract.
on the table.
Motion to, how would we say this? Motion to accept the lease agreement?
$0.
for $0.
I'll second.
Discussion. Anything else you would like to add?
No, I think I said it.
Have anything you would like to add? Okay, I'm going to say I disagree with my colleagues, and I think it's unfair for the town of Pembroke Park to be leasing a space that we are not paying for. So, roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Vice Mayor DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
No.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, moving on. 11, new business. 11.1, police coverage. Town Manager Jimenez.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Clerk Commissioner. After the last meeting, or during the last meeting, the whole discussion came up about there being a gap in service after the October 1st deadline, or the October 1, or at the September 30th, actually, expiration of our contract with BSO. There was discussion about extending the contract.
The
for a
microphone,
year.
please.
Sorry. There was discussion about extending the contract for a year with a 6-month out clause. And then at that meeting, we talked about possibly finding another solution. As you know, you and I, Chief Howard, we've had conversations with our surrounding municipalities, asked them for help. Unfortunately, none of those discussions came to fruition. They all said no. So it leaves us with two options. Start the department early at October 1st, or sign with BSO for the full year and cancel it on October 1st, so that way it's only a 6-month contract. And my recommendation is to sign the contract with BSO at this time. I don't think it would be prudent to rush the department. There's a lot of things that need to be done, and I don't want to set them up to fail either. There's a lot of work that's gone into it, and Dave has done he's done a good job in hiring people. In the last couple of weeks, a lot of work has gone into it. But I do feel when you rush things, mistakes are made, and I think that I'm recommending that we execute with BSO, and on October 1st, give them notice that we're canceling, and just do 6 months with them. That's my recommendation.
All right, well, at the last meeting, we did have a vote over this contract, and it was voted down 2-1. Neither one, myself nor the other commissioner who voted it down, put it back on the agenda to bring it back up. So it is not on the agenda to bring back up. I'm tired of the stupidity and the incompetence that continues in this town. It started with our finance director dragging this out, along with you dragging it out for a very extended amount of time. 3.5 years I've been working on this police department. Our chief, 2 years he's been working on the police department. Him and I diligently have many years of law enforcement experience, higher education in our justice system. We have worked timelessly. You didn't believe the numbers. You didn't believe everything we put together. Gave you the courtesy of a $48,000 consultant to put together a report that said the same exact thing that we had continued to put out. So I'm bringing Chief Howard up here for a moment. Chief Howard,
Yes, sir.
are we ready to launch on October 1st at midnight?
Yes, we are. The two things I was waiting on that's why I requested assistance from other agencies was a teletype solution. The contract I got yesterday.
When was the contract signed for teletype?
Yesterday.
Our radios and communication system with the Broward communication system was the other holdup,
We have radios as of yesterday.
and they're active.
They're good to go, and I just had a flurry of emails with the county regarding call signs, et cetera.
Okay. Could you please invite all the Pembroke Park police officers up front?
Please stand and come on up.
At this time, I would like to take the opportunity to swear in all of our Pembroke Park police officers. Town clerk. Come on up, guys. Don't be shy. Commission, I'd like you to stand behind as this happens. Can you use the microphone and speak up, please?
Sorry.
Good evening, everyone. As I stated a little while ago, I would like you all, I'm going to say, state your name, and each one of you is going to state your name. I will read out the oath, and then each one of you will also go ahead and say, I do. I'm going to start on that corner, and we'll work ourselves up. That's because he's the tallest gentleman we have here. Just saying. So, I, I'm sorry, keep your right hand up. I do apologize. Do solemnly swear that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution and the government of the United States of America and of the state of Florida, that I am duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the state, and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of Town of Pembroke Park Police Officer, on which I am about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations, everyone.
Round of applause, please.
You want to say a few words? No, we're going to use paper. The way we did it in the old days.
Thank you, everyone. I'm looking forward. Please have a seat. Chief, can I have you up there for just a moment?
Sure.
Mayor, we do have one gentleman that would like to come up to ask some questions. I already explained to him, we already went through public comment, but
We already went through public comment, so public comment is now over.
We didn't know this was going to happen. So public comment should have been after, shouldn't they?
Public comments at the beginning of our meetings. We don't have public comment throughout the meetings.
But if you didn't know this was going to happen, how could you ask a question?
We can talk to you after the meeting, and we have another workshop following this meeting.
Well, I have a question as somebody who has a business in here, not as a reporter, that's why.
Okay.
Public safety.
Okay. Chief Howard,
Yes, sir.
I want to take a moment to thank you for all your hard work and dedication to the town of Pembroke Park, along with your staff of several officers who have made this come together.
Thank you.
It has been very tough for you and I to get this completed. With all the red tape we've had to go through, the internal and external, I'm glad we're there. We have 100% complete police department, and it would have been absolutely foolish of us to continue on with the BSO contract. BSO has served this community for 42 years. They do not patrol our community as we pay them $3.5 million a year for. We never see them here in town. Residents will tell you. Business owners will complain. It is continuous. Now we have our own police department where we will have 3 officers and a sergeant. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
3 officers and 1 sergeant patrolling our community 24-hour days, 7 days a week, and they're responsible for our community and our community alone. At midnight on Friday night, 0001, Pembroke Park Police Department will officially launch. BSO has decided to stay on till 6 o'clock in the morning to help with the transition from one department to another. As the attorneys have gone back and forth, and we had a very negative statement from the undersheriff that said they were no longer going to provide any service to the town of Pembroke Park, I was reassured today that was not the case. BSO stepped up and will be there for our MOUs and any incident that we have that we need assistance for. And I want to take a moment, I see you in the back corner there. Thank you for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. And your conversation earlier today.
John Mayor, I have something to say.
Go ahead.
All right, I was not aware that we were making any decisions right now. I thought we were swearing in the police officers for when the time comes, we already have them active. But in my opinion, we're not ready to go.
Okay. Tell me your experience and background in law enforcement that makes you.
I don't have any, but I do know if we have a set date, and now we're trying to start, like 4 months before the set date, we're not ready.
We've never actually had a set date. It's been very fluid.
February, it's switched, it changes back and forth a little bit, but for the most part, it was not in 3 days from now, 4 days from now.
Well, the contract with the Broward Sheriff's,
Reporting process we should follow to make sure we're doing it right and not rushing anything. I think it's the only way to get it done right.
over 2 years, we've been building this police department.
So what's
And I
2 more
understand your
months?
concerns, but hold on one moment. How many years do you have?
Like me,
Yes.
about 35.
Okay. And with all the officers that were sworn in today, we have around 400 years of experience. These are not officers straight out of the academy. These are officers with several years' experience. Myself, I have 7 years law enforcement. I've also built multiple businesses, and I would not ever jeopardize the public safety of Pembroke Park. Going forward with BSO and the contract, we don't exactly know what the contract completely was, because there was one contract that was 3.4. There was one contract that was 5.4. The one with 5.4 said we'd have 49 officers. It was an independent one-year contract at a cost of $450,000. It's the one I got with the 6-month out clause. That's $2.7 million for the 6 months of service. The other contract was a 5-year contract with continuing to be District 1 with West Park, and that was the $3.4 million contract. I had the 1,000 pages of emails at the last meeting that everyone said they went through to see the conversations back and forth between the attorneys, where the attorneys are pointing blame at each other and no one wants to take accountability. Sheriff's Department said our attorney wasn't forthright. They also said they were negotiating in good faith, which I absolutely disagree with as well. Those emails are all public record. I would not, again, jeopardize the public safety of the residents of Pembroke Park, nor the officers that we just swore in for this town. If we weren't 100% ready to go, we would not be launching. But as of midnight, this department we voted for 5 times already, I believe, and we're there. So our contract ends with BSO at midnight, and we now have our own police department.
Well, I still disagree. I think we're jeopardizing public safety. And for my own peace of mind, I think we should stick with BSO for at least 6 months. And Melissa, you can start on the letter, the cancellation letter immediately. And yeah, I'm making a motion that we stick to BSO for 1 year.
Okay, so now you have to ask to find out if BSO actually agreed to that.
The manager didn't say otherwise.
The BSO has agreed to that. And there's a representative from the county here saying such.
Okay?
May I interject something? Chief Howard?
2 cents in.
There's a motion.
On the table.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have the information I need to make that decision.
If
We need a
you
second
we
or
can
it
have
dies.
discussion.
And it's going to die. Questions I have?
Motion
is that
dies.
Done now?
Motion dies.
Okay. Chief Howard, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes, sir.
We were all kind of surprised by this. Nobody knew it was going to happen. I wasn't made aware of anything, and I can tell by Ray's surprise that he wasn't either. So, you know, I don't want to take anything away from what happened this evening for all these gentlemen and who are willing to sign up with us and hopefully enjoy a good, productive relationship with the town. But I would like to know, are we going to have, we don't even have uniforms for these folks? Is that we
No, we do.
We do? We have uniforms now?
They're in the process. We have, they're going to be wearing similar to what BSO wears for about a week or 2 until their uniforms come in.
Okay, so we'll have boots on the ground, on the streets, on the 1st.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
I'd like to take a moment, Friday night at 11:30, if you would like to join us here at Town Hall. We'll have a little get-together, a little reception as we take over the radios at 0001 hours from BSO. BSO, we would like you here too, if you can attend. All right, moving on, 11.2. Law Enforcement Mutual Aid Agreement for Voluntary Cooperation, Operational Assistance. Town Attorney Anderson.
This is a mutual aid agreement between Broward Sheriff's Office and the town, agreeing that both of us will mutually assist the other party. And once this is approved, it's operational. They don't need to approve it. It's already been approved by them. So once it's approved and signed, it's ready to go. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a mutual aid agreement between Broward Sheriff's Office and this town. Once it's approved and signed by the commission, it's ready to go. BSO does not need to approve it. They assured us of that by email. So that's what this is.
Okay. Are there any questions?
This agreement will contain, we'll have agreements like this with all the towns surrounding, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
These mutual aid agreements have been put in place. The Broward County Sheriff's Office said once submitted, they will submit it to FDLE for us. Is that correct?
They didn't say anything to FDLE, to me about FDLE, but they assured me that once it was completed, it would be good to go.
Okay, I read in the email that they would submit it once they received it. So can we make this happen later this evening, please, on break, after a vote?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
To approve 11.2 law enforcement mutual aid agreement.
I'll second.
Discussion? Clerk Commissioner? Discussion?
No, I'm sorry.
All right, roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkin. Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
All right. 11.3, police uniforms, Interim Police Chief Howard.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Clerk Commissioner. I thought we voted on this a year or so ago,
Thought we did too.
but I couldn't find it in iCompass, so I just decided to put it back on there. That's an overall for everybody to get their basic uniforms, et cetera.
Hey, did you send this through me?
Yes.
Okay. We'll talk after.
No problem.
Thought this was on a consent agenda a while back.
I put so many things through, I can't even remember, to be honest with you.
All right, any questions?
No.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
What is that, 11.4?
11.3.
Motion to approve 11.3 police uniforms.
Second.
Discussion.
No.
Roll call.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Right, 11.4. This will be the BVP Grant for the purchase of the ballistic vest for our officers, Interim Police Chief Howard.
This is just one of the 4 DOJ grants that we applied for. They're just starting to come back in now. This one in particular is to help us purchase our ballistic vests for the officers.
Questions?
Oh, I don't have any.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve 11.4 purchase of ballistic vest for the officers.
Second.
Discussion.
None.
Roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Vice Mayor DeVille. Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Police Chief.
Thank you.
11.5. This will be the first amendment to the RFP 19-02 Disaster Relief Removal Agreement with all vendors. Public Services Director Clark. Thank you for the air. It's getting a little warm in here. Usually we're complaining the opposite.
So essentially, again, Rob Clark, Public Services Director for the town of Pembroke Park.
On.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Rob Clark, Public Services Director of the town of Pembroke Park. So essentially, we have a relationship with a vendor that will handle adverse debris during a tropical storm or whatever the case may be. And they handle that typically, and this is just to move forward with their contract.
Okay, any questions?
No.
Right, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve 11.5, First Amendment to RFP 19-02, disaster debris removal.
Second.
Discussion.
None.
None.
Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Hold on. We got your next item. This is 11.6, workshop item 15.12, Town Hall Hardening Roof Membrane System Replacement Award Selection and Recommendation. Doesn't have you listed, but I know this is yours.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Robert Clark, Public Services Director, Town of Pembroke Park. Essentially, what this boils down to is moving forward with the projects that were set forth, and we've gone back and forth. We have selected the standard membrane and decided to move forward with that one as soon as possible in light of all the leaks I'm getting from the roof.
Okay. Questions? And I have some. Excuse me.
They're going to do a full membrane? They're going to strip it and
All the way down to the concrete.
insulation, new insulation and everything?
Okay, I see one is it ranges from 160,000, 167,000, 265,000, and 314,700. There is a double the price difference between these quotes.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference, and which one are you recommending?
So I don't have all three of them in front of me. I can have to pull them up on my pad if you can give me just a second.
I have them on the workshop, so I got to pull up a whole nother screen here. And I do have a question for you. You were the one discussing the different types of roofing. Is this what you were referring to at the last meeting when we were discussing it?
Yes.
Okay. Workshop. If you'd like to bring your workshop up on the iPads, it's number 15.12 that has the backup. Town clerk, the links aren't working in this.
That myself.
I read them all the other night, but they're not. Again, this was the issue we had at the last meeting. We couldn't bring any of these up.
Are you going through the portal? Through where the residents go through? Because I noticed.
The link that you sent,
Marlon, this is through the link you sent.
It's not popping up?
At least not
Excuse
for, not for the special.
it's the link for the workshop that you sent, we were always able to access, and now we're unable to access it as it brings it up like always, and we usually just click right here, 15.12, and there's absolutely nothing coming up from the links. This was the same problem we had 2 weeks ago.
Let me just try something.
Roll in so we can visually have a.
Figure out why it's not doing.
It's not. It worked the other day when I went through everything. Now it's not.
But this has something.
This has always worked seamlessly.
understand.
2 weeks ago. It's just the last meeting it stopped doing this. I will get with IT and see if there's a correction in my iPad, but I don't believe so. It's updated.
No, mine's not working either, sir, so.
Yeah, it was like everything worked fine until 2 weeks ago, and now the system stopped working. So if you could just bring those up on the screen, make them very large so everyone throughout the room could see them.
Is this the section?
That's correct. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait, can you read that okay? Did you look over it
Put my
and back up?
if I put my glasses on.
If you have to go up to the screen to see it, please do. I don't want anyone missing anything. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Following the standard procurement process, what we would do is we create a scope of work and then submit that scope of work through Demand Star, and then those individuals would have the opportunity to bid on that scope of work. And then based on that scope of work, they would submit, and we would evaluate those proposals as proposals, and then we would submit those through our committee to decide which one would be the winning bid. Outside of that procurement process, sir, the only thing that I could say to you is that I spoke to my deputy about the varying in cost, and it is most likely due, and I can't speak factually as to why, but it's most likely due to a company outsourcing to another bidder or subcontractor process.
My concern would be, I'm not one to go with the lowest bidder due to quality. My concern would be the amount of change orders that would come forward that would take this from, say, if we looked at the middle there at 167.9 to a 265,000, that would be $100,000 increase in change orders. So that would be my only concern, because there is a $100,000 difference between those and roughly $150,000 difference between the top and the bottom.
Yes, sir. Which is the great thing about this procurement process is that I'm not the sole person to decide on that. Melissa will be involved, JC also be involved in the process, as well as yourselves. You'll be sent this information. You get the opportunity to look at scope, and there won't be any change orders to a flat roof that we have specifically set up to follow this way.
Are we,
Nothing to change.
during our hardening process, are we going to be like replacing air conditioners and all that type of stuff?
So that's something we haven't discussed as being a part of the town hall hardening as of yet.
Is there anything on that roof that's going to have to be removed after you put the new roof down?
Absolutely not, sir. That roof is, we could go up there and take a look at it, but I removed everything that was up there. Now it's just a solid roof.
Does it, underneath the current roofing, what are we expecting underneath for
We're-
repair-wise?
We're expecting it to be a disaster because who knows what has happened prior to us being there, but we're going to go all the way down to the concrete, put new membrane and new roofing structure up there, all
Okay.
the way from the very beginning.
So
And
which are you recommending?
The recommended roofing contractor would be Supreme Roofing and Construction at $167,000, not $167,925.
Was there a reason they didn't go with rubber?
No particular reason, other than we could go in a variety of different ways. I think it was, TPO was one suggestion. What was the other one? It was, Gecko Flex was another suggestion, and just to go with the asphalt, and when you look around, the asphalt works. That's pretty much what it boils down to.
Okay, so you're recommending the $160,925.
167,925, yes, sir.
Supreme Roofing and Construction Incorporated?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does this fall under our town hardening grant?
It should. Yeah, as it stands here, we're supposed to get a grant funded for $90,000, and we should be good to go.
And JC, you confirm?
Part of it. The roofing was part of it.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No, let you guys ask the questions.
No, I don't have any.
I'm confirming your expertise in this field. So.
Well, I have reservations on doing a built-up roof when there's a lot of more modern techniques out there, more modern products out there that we could be using that would probably be more economical.
Would you rather investigate this a little further before we vote
I
on an item?
think we should. That would be my recommendation, to go into it further and look at some more modern products. And built-up roof has been around for 100 years, but it's the same process, and every 20 years or 25 years, you're going to end up stripping it down and redoing it, because it just doesn't, especially in Florida heat, you know. So.
Okay, so I'm taking you want to table this item until we can revisit it
I think
with
I
options?
think that'd be a good idea. Yeah.
And you're going to work directly with,
I can.
If I could add, sir.
okay,
That the roof is leaking now. And so at 25 years, all due respect to the commissioner, his experience in roofing, if we could, we need to put this thing to bed. I understand, because the procurement process took this long. And so we would have to start all over from ground zero, get the scope, get the contractors, the whole 9 yards to get everything moving forward. I understand and respect your position, sir. I certainly do. I just want the roof to be tight. Because if the roof is not tight, then everything that's moving forward that we know is getting ready to move forward will be for naught.
Can you get somebody up there with a patch kettle and patch what's leaking?
Absolutely, sir. They'll be over here tomorrow to, at the very least, evaluate. But
That's what I would do. I'd get somebody up there with a patch kettle, patch the leaks, and
I'm
then
referring to your expertise, so
forwards. Yeah.
how about you make a motion for this?
All right, I'll make a motion that we put this off until we get a more detailed information and just get a patch kettle fix up there until we find out if we have a better option. Yeah. And we can bring it up at a later meeting.
yes, sir.
Second.
All right, any more discussion?
No, not on this side.
Okay, I know this is a lengthy process to go through this, but I would like to refer to my colleague here and take his expertise in this area over roofing, because that is not my field. So, but he
I had
does have
50 years of
extensive knowledge in it.
Yes, sir. I respect that. I just want a tight roof so we don't have to deal with leaks.
Yeah,
That's all.
certainly.
All right, roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Vice Mayor DeVille. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
11.7, this will be discussion for October's meetings. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
October's meetings.
So the reason I brought this, that I realized I needed to put it on this agenda is because it's come to my attention that we're not going to be able to have the October 12th meeting. We don't have quorum. So I'd like to see what the commission would like to do.
I would like a second to explain a moment. As you all are aware, I changed airlines, and the result, we don't have a quorum, is I'm in Dallas during the week. So I have several dates, but they are weekend dates, Saturday dates, that I can fly back on the weekends and be here. But I cannot be here midweek for the month of October. So unfortunately, if we had 5 members up here or 4 members up here, as long as 3 were here, I could do this remotely. But this is only in consideration for the October 12th meeting. What dates I gave you, the 15th and 16th, is that Saturday, Sunday, correct?
The 8th and the 9th, the 15th and the 16th. They're both Saturdays and Sundays.
I'm available the 8th and 9th and the 15th and 16th. Our next meeting is scheduled on October 12th. So that following Saturday would be the 15th, if you guys would like to have the meeting on that Saturday.
8 or 15?
Yeah, it would be either the 8th or 15th, because I have to catch an early morning flight back on the 9th and the 16th.
Either one works for me.
What's that?
Either one works with prior notice, so.
Okay. That's why we're trying to get it done tonight. Third Commissioner?
Which one are you going to come back? Which one?
It will be either October 8th or October 15th.
Saturdays?
They're both Saturdays. One would be before our scheduled meeting, one would be after our scheduled meeting. Whichever one works best for you.
I don't know. What's good for you, Ray?
Both work. You just got
Both
to
work.
make a decision today.
If I could just state something, we do have on the 8th, that is a long weekend, because we're off on Columbus Day.
Columbus Day would be Monday.
Right. So I don't know if, you'd rather have the extended weekend and put it on for the 15th.
Just so it wouldn't be inconvenienced to everyone, I would recommend the 15th.
Yes.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we have the regular meeting on the 15th of
Hey.
October.
Mayor, since it's on a Saturday, can we have it maybe earlier instead of at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m.?
You don't want to be here all night? I told you, I'm down. I got nothing better to do. I just got to catch a flight in the morning, so.
I get it. So, I mean, maybe we can decide on the time.
You want it like 2 in the afternoon, or do you want it at noon?
Either one.
6 a.m.?
Either
9
one.
a.m.
10?
10's fine.
10 a.m.? 10 a.m.?
10 a.m.
Cool. That will be our longest meeting we ever officially have. 10 a.m. On the, I need to say the right date, the
The
15th.
15th. Yeah.
Okay. Roll call.
I'm sorry, who
Oh.
made the first and the
I
motion?
did. I make a motion.
You
that we-
second? Did you second? Did we have a motion? I almost forgot now. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we move the meeting to 10 a.m. on the 15th.
Second.
Discussion.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. I see he's putting it in his calendar, so no one needs to call him at the last minute.
Marlon.
You're going to have to call him at the last minute, remind him.
Okay. Not a problem.
All right, roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Vice Mayor DeVille. Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
At the following meeting, I will also bring it up again, only because in November and December, since those are holiday
I get it.
months, we may have to make some changes as well during that period of time.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, announcements. I said those at the previous meeting, so I have none for this one. Now it's everyone's favorite time at 6:59 p.m. Wednesday, the September 28th, 2022 adjournment.